Hello, everybody. Happy Hump Day from your friends at Prime Sports World. I'm your coach, your host, David Huffman. And right there is our analyst, Mr. TJ Hopkins. And we're going to be breaking down the All NBA teams that were announced yesterday. We're going to talk about if they got it right, some snubs, all of that kind of stuff. And if you're looking for consistent content on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, you come to the right place. Prime Sports World going live 6 or 7 times a week, bringing you the most up-to-date content. So you can keep an eye out for that content. We are Prime Sports World in all the places, but on Twitter, we are PSW_David. And if you want to join in on the conversation, you want to join us and have a little bit of NBA conversation while the Eastern Conference Finals is underway, I will put the StreamYard link into all of the places so you can go ahead and join us. I'll put it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. So if you want to talk NBA action with us, more than welcome to do so. As I talk about in most of our shows, you just have to keep it PG. We do not want to get in trouble with YouTube or with Facebook. So, yeah, keep your comments PG, but you're more than welcome to join us and have a little conversation about some sports because we'd love to have you on the show. TJ, how are you today, man? What's up? What's good?
Same old.
Yeah.
Same stuff, different day.
Yeah, I feel you. It was beautiful downtown until it was not. But yeah, the weather in Chicago is certainly getting nicer. It's like one of those nice, Six Flag days where you can go to Six Flags and have a good time at Six Flags. It won't be all, too hot or too cold to enjoy Six Flags. If you're a Six Flag guy, I don't know if you are.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been, but always a good time to go. Always down to go to Six Flags.
I do enjoy Six Flags. It's a good time. Right now, they're running a special. You can go there many times you want. I think it's like $60 a month or $60 for the entire summer.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, and you can go there unlimited, and you don't have to pay. I mean, I would say probably have to pay for parking and stuff, but you get to get into the park for free, minus the $69. Let's talk about all NBA teams before we get way off track here. I'm way off on a tangent. But yeah, if you guys want to join us and talk NBA action, also please like, share, and subscribe our show. It helps us build the channel so we can get out to more people. First, let's talk about the All NBA teams. First team: Luka Doncic, Booker, Jason Tatum, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic make up the first team. Your second team make up Steph Curry, John Morant, DeMar DeRozan. Shout out to DeMar DeRozan, Chicago Bull. Many people, including myself, did not like the signing when we signed him. Most of us are eating our words now that he is a second team All-Pro, All-Team of the NBA. Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid. And then the third team, we got Chris Paul, Trey Young, LeBron James, Pascal Siakam, and Karl Anthony Towns. So when we think about the All NBA teams, first of all, do you think the guys are in the right team if they did make the team and deservedly made the team? And we'll talk about any snubs. We'll do the snubs for after. But did they get these teams right?
It's hard to find. It's hard to say why they didn't. Like, if you want to say Jason Tatum shouldn't be first team because of how Boston started, right? Like they were a below 500 team. They were blowing leads left and right. Then they went on this crazy run that got them to the 2 seed in the East
and in the Eastern Conference Finals. But not that this is obviously a regular season award, so we don't factor in the postseason at all.
So, I mean, yeah, looking at it, it's hard to say. It's one of those. All right, if this person should be off, who do you put in their place? Right.
That's always the great debate. Like, if you think a guy doesn't belong there, who would you put over him? And I don't know really if like I'm looking at the first team All NBA team. Look at the first team. So just the first team alone, Luka Doncic. I have no issues with the Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic. Where I kind of have the problem is I think I think they can only put one center. Technically, because they have to have 2 forwards and a center. So I don't think that's why Joel Embiid, obviously not taking Joel Embiid over the MVP of the league. But if I was somebody who had the ability to make decisions, I think I'd probably have Embiid over Tatum, and I'd probably have John Morant over Devin Booker on the first All-NBA team. I think when you look at John Morant's impact, I know they won a ton of games without him on the floor, but that sample size is kind of skewed based on their opponents and based on regular season success, and the fact that roster is actually pretty decent even without him. But John Morant had a first team All NBA style team. I would have put him over Devin Booker, and I would have put Embiid over Jason Tatum, but I don't think they can put 2 centers on there, which is probably why Embiid's not on the first team.
Yeah, That's yeah. I mean, you can argue how can you have an All NBA team, any All NBA team, and not have a guy like Jimmy Butler on there who led his team to the number one seed in the East.
Well, I
But
think the
again,
argument there is that he missed a lot of time.
well, so did LeBron and so did KD.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I mean, LeBron put up even better numbers than Jimmy Butler, and
You
you
can't
look at
argue the missed games point. No, I don't care about their numbers. You can't say this player missed a lot of time and then put on two players who missed just as much time or if not more time than he did.
yeah, I probably wouldn't have had Kevin Durant on the second team All NBA team based on the amount of time he missed. And back to but Jimmy Butler, you look at his actual statistic numbers, they weren't as good this season as they have been in seasons past. Like all his percentages are way down across the board, and that's just a fact.
Okay, but again, that's not the point you brought up. You brought up games played.
Yeah.
Right, LeBron played in how many games this season? 56. That's 56 games. KD played in how much?
Hold on. He didn't play even close to 56 games. So, and I don't know.
KD played in 55. Jimmy Butler played in
57.
57.
Yeah, so he played more than KD and less than LeBron.
No, he played one more game than LeBron. LeBron played in 56. He played in 57.
Oh, I thought you said 59. Okay. So they both played 56, 57, 58. And I mean, yeah, I mean, you can make the argument, but that Jimmy Butler probably, but look at his numbers. I mean, 21 points, 5 rebounds. I mean, shooting at 23% from the 3-point line. It's just, I don't think he had an All NBA season. And that's just, sure, they were the 1 seed. But I think it's because of the collective talent of the Miami Heat as opposed to just having one outstanding player.
And I'm looking at guys like, only one dude on this list missed the playoffs. Yeah. Everybody else made it. Only one dude missed it.
But I think when LeBron, his almost winning the scoring title, I think he had an All NBA's caliber season. Like, team
All
success
don't miss the playoffs.
Team success aside, I'm sure.
You play a role in that team's success. You play a role.
Of course. I mean, but I'm sure LeBron isn't the first team to make an All NBA team and has his team missed the playoffs. Like, I would be interested to see what that stat even looks like. And if you're going to take LeBron off, who are you going to put on? I mean, Brandon Ingram, maybe.
Make playoffs. Make the playoffs. Didn't make the playoffs. Everybody on this list made the playoffs except that dude.
So if you're taking off LeBron, you're putting Jimmy Butler on.
Either him or Brandon Ingram. One of them two. Like, you can't tell me like you can't hold Jimmy Butler accountable. Like, well, you're only in this position because of your team, not because of you. Okay, take Jimmy Butler off that team. Are the Heat number 1 team in the East? Probably not.
No, but if you take LeBron off the Lakers, they're like the worst team in the NBA. I mean, come on.
What's the difference? Literally, what's the difference?
I mean, we're talking about you think Jimmy Butler. They'd be the worst team in the NBA. They wouldn't be battling for a play-in spot. They'd be the worst team in the league.
But when you got a guy like that, you playing. That's beneath.
Yeah, I mean, you can make the argument because Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets, the fact that they basically crawled into the play-in game, basically sneaking like. Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily hate your argument for both of those guys to miss the All NBA team. I wouldn't mind if seeing Brandon Ingram and Jimmy Butler make it over either of those guys. I would have had John Morant in the first team in All NBA. That's just my opinion on it. I think he was in the MVP conversation. For him to be in the MVP conversation and not even make the first team All NBA seems a little bit strange to me.
You would just switch Ja with Booker.
Yeah, even though I know Ja Morant missed some time too. I think he only played probably like 59 games or something like that too. But I would probably flip Ja Morant and Devin Booker. I would probably, if it allowed me to, I would flip Jason Tatum and Joel Embiid. And then I would probably take Kevin Durant off the team entirely. Just being
Ja
honest.
played in 57 games. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of games.
Yeah, and then I would take Kevin Durant off the team. I move LeBron into the second All NBA team, and then I would basically pick between Jimmy Butler and Brandon Ingram for that final playoff, that final third team spot, whoever belongs there. Because I
Yeah, I
actually
don't
have
think I.
I have no problem with anybody else. I think the only real question mark is because of the lack of team success for LeBron James and the Lakers and the games missed by Kevin Durant. Does that disqualify them from being the second or third All NBA team? I
To
don't
me,
know.
it does.
I don't know.
Like to me, it does. Right? Like you can't. So like at this point, LeBron, looking at all of this, LeBron literally made it off a rep. I mean, like don't get me wrong, like he put up numbers, but they get on dudes like Westbrook for putting up. They got on dudes like Westbrook for years for putting up empty stats and not like meaningless stats. Like for like the after the first 2 years of him averaging the triple double, the 2 years after he averaged, it was called empty. They were empty. They were quote unquote empty stats because they didn't win. Right?
I, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I think LeBron did for sure. Like a lot of times this season, he was in games like way past where he was. Like the game was over, and like LeBron James was still in the game, like filling up the stat sheet. I do think LeBron had like the first season I could ever remember. LeBron had some pretty empty numbers.
Yeah.
One of
Yeah.
one of the nice things about this All NBA team, though, it kind of represents kind of a shift in generations, right? Like when you look at the players on this team, like Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Chris Paul, everybody else, Steph Curry, everybody else on this team is under 30 years old, and so you have like kind of a shift in like the younger players are starting to rise up through the ranks. Like there's no more you don't see some staples of all NBA teams like a Carmelo Anthony, or you don't see obviously Dwayne Wade because he's retired, but you kind of see
Right.
these
Right.
teams
Right.
getting a little bit younger, right? Like we don't have
Yeah.
necessarily the same crop of players making the All NBA teams anymore. This is kind of a new, fresh crop, and it's kind of signals to the NBA that hey, the NBA is in a good place with the future of the league.
Yeah. They what did they say? This is the first time since I forgot what year it was, but this is like the first time that all members of the first All NBA first team were like 27 and younger. So like the first time, I think it was what year was it? I gotta find it. But yeah, like Tatum's what 20, 25, 24, 25.
Something like that,
Luca's
yeah. 24,
same.
23.
Booker's like I think the oldest player in here is probably Giannis in with the first team.
Yeah, I think Giannis is 27. Jokic might be somewhere around the same age.
So yeah, like that's definitely a changing of the excuse me, a changing of the guard. Like, and it's always one of those things where it's like every time like there's these generational talents in the NBA, right? Like there are always questions of what is the league gonna do when this player retires out of that. Like we saw, like they saw it with Jordan, right? When Jordan retired, they like, all right, what are we gonna do? Right? Like the 90, what year was it? The first retirement, the 91 season, like that was an outlier because like that was legit. Like, yo, what are we gonna do? Because you got a dude who retired literally in his prime, right? Like we've
Yeah.
had LeBron from start to what will be the finish whenever, right? Same thing with Wade. We had Wade start to finish. We're gonna have KD start to finish, Chris Paul start to finish, we Melo start to finish, right? Most of these dudes are not gonna retire in the middle of the
No,
peak
I
of
mean
their.
a couple of them are already out of their prime. I mean LeBron and Chris Paul, I mean they're already past their prime. I mean 36, 37, that's
Like we had
you're leaving your
KG,
prime in the back window. Kevin Durant's in his
K,
final year of his prime.
yeah, we had KG start to finish, Dirk start to finish, Tim Duncan start to finish. The one thing that people still, what the one thing people they got to stop doing is what's going to happen to the league when this player stops playing? Nothing. The league's going to keep going.
Yeah, I mean the league doesn't
right?
sleep for anyone. Like the
League,
league continues. Like we've seen, especially over the last this year's draft for sure. Like the league's going to be in a pretty good place. Like they have some really good players that coming into the league. Like the young guard of this NBA team of the NBA right now is going to be carrying this team forward. I mean, you got Jason Tatum playing in the Eastern Conference Finals right now. On the other side, you got Luka in the Western Conference Finals. Like the NBA is in a good place with the fact that the talent in this league right now is at it might be as talented as a league as it's ever been.
oh, absolutely. Yeah. Other than the KD and
So made up of entirely players. So the NBA first team is made up entirely of players under the age of 27 for the first time since 1954.
like that. Like, come on, man. Like the league is in great hands, right? Like you look at a guy like Luka, he's been the preseason MVP for the last
2 years.
3 years. Devin Booker's finally playing meaningful basketball for like the first time in his career consecutively, right? I counted off those numbers before when we found out Suns fans were burning Chris Paul's jersey, right? When it was just the Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton show.
I mean, they were Devin Booker was going for 70 points and losing.
Right? Y'all won 21, 19, and 34. That was your win total before Chris Paul joined the team. Jason Tatum, all he knows is winning, right? He came into the league as a rookie going to the Eastern Conference Finals against LeBron James. Right? All he knows is winning. Giannis, yeah, it took Giannis a while. It took him about 4 years before he finally, came into his own. Right? You can argue, like if somebody was to argue and say Giannis is the best player in the league right now, you can't knock that argument. You can't say
I think he is the best player in the league right now.
Like you can't say you better have a damn good argument as to why somebody's better than him. Right? Like you can say it's because he don't have a consistent jump shot. Okay, that's fine. You can hold it, but he gets 28 and 12 somehow.
I mean, nobody plays harder than he does. He's like one of the hardest working players in the entire league. And I just looked it up. They have to have one true, like they can only have one true center on the All NBA team, which is why Joel Embiid is not on the first team All NBA because he absolutely would be.
And they cannot say Joel Embiid got snubbed. Like, bro, Joker's the back-to-back MVP.
Yeah, I mean,
what more needs to be said?
Yeah, he did something that's never been done in the history of the least.
2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, 500 assists.
Some other snubs I think are worth kind of at least talking about a little bit. Donovan Mitchell over Chris Paul potentially because of the time missed by Chris Paul. Not to mention, I know he had a good season, but if you look at Donovan Mitchell's season, 25 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, pretty solid. 67 games played by Donovan Mitchell. Then in Chicago, Zach LaVine, 24 points per game, 4 rebounds. He played 67 games as well. Worthy of probably being an All NBA selection. It actually saves the Bulls a ton of money that he didn't make the All NBA selection. So I guess I'm not hating it.
So the numbers are out now for Zach LaVine. So the numbers are out for him and Devin Booker. These two dudes are in line for massive paydays. Right? That's if they stay with their respective teams, and I know Devin Booker's nowhere near close to leaving Phoenix. So Zach LaVine, for Bulls fans that are interested, if he stays, it's 5 for $212. If he leaves, the most he can get, he misses out on $55 million. If he leaves, the most he can get from anywhere else is 4 for $157. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of money to leave on the table.
That's
the money would be even higher if he had made an All-NBA team. Which is actually now that because Devin Booker made an All-NBA team, his contract extension is going to be insane this offseason.
So and whatever contract extension he gets from the Phoenix Suns, it would be the largest contract in Phoenix Suns history. More money than Nash got, more money than Stoudemire got, more money than Charles Barkley ever got.
Well, I mean, that's just the nature of the beast at this point. I mean,
but at the same time, you look at those names I just said, like that's Phoenix Suns royalty in a sense.
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, Steve Nash
That
regularly took pay cuts so they can continue to build this roster, and he probably also knew how cheap the owner was, so he probably didn't want to push it too much. Which is
yeah,
also something that hasn't really been talked about a whole lot since that story first broke. You know,
nope, nope, nope,
this,
nope. I,
but
and Trey, you have an issue with Trey Young. Like you go from Eastern Conference Finals to play-in. That's
I mean,
that's
sure. I mean, but
significant drop.
when you look at Trey Young's numbers, man, it's hard to leave him off of an All NBA team. Like his
Yeah,
numbers are. I know he's like the worst. Statistically, he's the worst defender in the league. But his offensive numbers are like insane. Like I have his numbers right here. 28 points a game, 9 assists, 3.7 rebounds a game, dude. Like he's shooting 40, 60, 38, 90 clip, dude. Like it's hard to he played in 76 games this season. It's hard to leave a guy who's that good offensively off the All NBA team, no matter what he is on offense.
you mean defense?
Defense, sorry, yeah, defense. I
I guess.
can't leave him. I can't leave him off the team. I just can't. And I would have a legitimate argument if they had missed the playoffs entirely, or if they had gotten bounced in the play-in. But the fact that they didn't, I think he's got to be on the list. He's got to be. I mean,
Okay.
who would you put over Trey Young?
I don't know. I'm just talking at this point.
Donovan Mitchell, maybe.
Maybe I don't know.
But it's a stretch. I don't know. I think I like Karl Anthony Towns. Pascal Siakam, I think, is a solid choice. We kind of talked about LeBron. We talked about Chris Paul a little bit.
Yeah, Karl Anthony Towns, he's just at the mercy of the two dudes that's above him. Right?
Yeah.
The only way he gets an all NBA spot above them two is if they get hurt and can't play.
I agree with
right?
you.
Like like ain't nothing he can't complain about, all NBA thirds. Like he can't. Right? Like
yeah, I mean, the argument, you could also make the argument to be, Rudy Gobert or Bam Adebayo over Karl Anthony Towns, but I probably wouldn't do that either. Karl Anthony Towns played in 74 games this season. Rudy Gobert played in 65, and Bam only played in 56 games this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Jaylen Brown, you look at his numbers, he had a pretty solid season. Darius Garland, DeJounte Murray, first-time All-Stars. You can make the argument maybe they should have made an All-NBA team over maybe a Chris Paul. But overall, I'm actually pretty happy with these All-NBA teams.
Yeah, it's kind of like what we're doing. Like if you have an issue with these All NBA teams, it's just nitpicking at this point. Like for those who think Joel Embiid should have made first team over Joker, what's your reasoning? What's your like legit? What is your reason? Why should a guy why should he have made All NBA first team over the reigning 2-time MVP? Like what? Like why? Legitimately, why? Like, why do you feel that way? Like, is it because you just like him better? Are you just like, what is it?
Well, it's probably the people who are in the same camp that he should have won the MVP outright, as opposed to Nikola Jokic winning the MVP. It's probably those same people, and those people are normally wrong. So,
like, yeah. Other than, and I've said my piece on KD and LeBron, like, versus like, you really got to ask like, what's the criteria? Like, this is one of those things where there's never really a set criteria as to going into, because the media votes on this, like the sports writers and so got sports writers and I think the broadcasters. Yeah, the sports writers and broadcasters, they are the ones who vote for the All NBA teams. Me personally, I think all the stuff like that should be left to the players. The players play the game, and they know who killing it, and they know who.
No.
And they know who not. Like me
the
personally,
NBA, the NBA should do like how like the NBA does those top 100s, like the NFL.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, the NBA. I would love that. I would watch that religiously.
Like if they did something very similar to that, only with like NBA players, I would watch that. I would watch that. I would enjoy that.
Yeah, because like that's
Which is why the all pro teams are they're voted on by sports writers too. And that's what actually led to the NFL Network to actually be like, hey, let's let the players vote on who the best 100 players in the league are and see what kind of results we get.
absolutely. So
I would think that would be some super fun right
yeah,
there.
that's what I think should I'm not saying take away the media and broadcasting votes like altogether, like the coaching. Like coaches should get more of a vote, like more of a say in the vote, and the players their percentages should be more, right? That too should be that those who are directly involved in the game. Like we leave too much stuff off of up to eye test, and like we can see players like have one bad stretch. Like Luka could have 5 games where he shoots 30% from three, he's scoring 18 to 21 a game, and he can't hit the ocean if he's standing on the beach, and all of a sudden, whatever awards he's nominated for or listed as, he just drops out of the race completely because of 5 bad games. All right, those 5 bad games outweigh the 20 good ones he played before that. Because a lot of players lose out on stuff because of menial stuff like that.
All right, so we're ready for some fun facts. All right, so here's a fun fact. Luka Doncic, fourth player in the NBA history to be named to the All-NBA team 3 or more times before turning 24. Can you name the 3 other players? I would be shocked if you got one of them. At least one. This one guy. I think you'll get the other 2. He's the 4th player in NBA history to be named to the All-NBA first team 3 or more times before turning 24 years old, joining 3 other guys.
Well, when you say that this is the first time that they've been, the All NBA team has been 27 younger for the first time since 1950. What year was that? 54. So I got a lot to pull. Got a lot of ways to go back.
Yeah, it's true.
Damn.
It's true.
A lot of basketball.
I would be honestly shocked if you got one of these guys, like the one guy on this list. Like I would be legitimately shocked. I had to look him up.
Considering the history, I find it hard pressed that Wilt Chamberlain is not on that list.
It's not Wilt Chamberlain.
That is okay. That's insane.
Two of the guys are semi-recent.
LeBron?
No.
LeBron didn't make All NBA?
No. All NBA first team 3 or more times. First team.
Okay, my bad.
First team.
It's not LeBron. It definitely wasn't Kobe.
Nope.
Shaq was too old.
Not Shaq.
Because Shaq won a one and done. I think he was a.
Yeah, he went to college. He went to a college for a while. I think he was a 3-year player. I can't. The hints are just going to give it away.
He's like, the hints are just going to give it away.
Two of the guys play in the Western Conference. The 2 guys I think you'll get, they're in the Western Conference. Okay, they both have more than one ring. One of them is retired. You have no chance of getting this other guy. No chance. I'm not even going to entertain it. So it's just
more than one guy. I mean, more than one ring, and they played in the West. And you said this guy's retired. He's not.
One of them is retired.
Is the one that has more than one ring? Is he still playing?
No, I mean they both won more than one ring in their playing career.
Oh, they both. Okay. Cool.
They have more than they have at least 2.
They have at least 2. Tim Duncan.
That's one. Tim Duncan, who has 5. Tim Duncan, he made multiple NBA teams 3 or more times before turning 24 years old. And who's the other? This era. He no longer plays in the West. That feels like I just gave it away.
He no longer plays in the West?
Yeah, he won his rings in the West, but he no longer plays there. He's still active.
Oh no. Okay. Who? Tim Duncan's one.
Let's see. What else can I? He's on this All NBA team. One of them.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's on this All NBA team. He's on one of the All NBA teams this year.
Oh, KD.
Yeah, come on, man. I mean, I thought that was gonna be like the easiest shit ever. And the third guy is Max Zaklovsky, who played for the Chicago Stags in 1946 to 1950. He finally retired with the Wilkes-Barre Barons in 58.
Damn.
He played shooting guard. He was 6'2", 170 pounds. He made 3 All-NBA teams in his first 4 seasons in the league. So, before he turned 24 years old.
Well, that's you know what? Wilt Chamberlain wasn't even in the league by that time.
Yeah, I think he was still in the ABA.
He was still in he was still in college. He was in Kansas for 2 years. Then he was a Globetrotter. Then from 59 to 65, he played for the Warriors. And I don't think the Warriors were a part of the NBA just yet. So you might have been right.
Yeah, I think they were still in the ABA. And the award is named after Victor Solomon, who I don't know who that is. So Victor Solomon Crystal Basketball.
So what's crazy is Wilt Chamberlain, for all his, all his all his crazy stats and records, he only made All NBA 7 times. Like all in first team 7 times. Like 60 to 62, 64, 66 through 68. He made it 7 times. He made All NBA second team 3 times. There was no third team back then, I don't think.
Makes sense. But yeah, any other final straight thoughts before we move? We wrap up the show here. All NBA teams announced yesterday. Recap: Booker, Doncic, Tatum, Antetokounmpo, Jokic on the first team. We got Curry, Morant, DeRozan, Embiid, and Kevin Durant. Yeah, on the second team, and then we got Chris Paul, Trey Young, LeBron James, Pascal Siakam, Karl Anthony Towns on the third team. Any final straight thoughts before we wrap up today's show?
Yeah. So one more trivia before we get up out of here.
Okay.
Who has the most All NBA selections?
Tim Duncan.
He's tied for second.
Okay. Karl Malone. No, is it Hakeem Olajuwon?
It is not Hakeem Olajuwon, no.
All right. It's not Michael Jordan. He didn't play long enough, right?
It's not Michael Jordan, no.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Tied for second.
Bill Russell?
No.
Give me.
Still playing. He's currently still playing.
It's not LeBron, is it?
It is LeBron. LeBron has 18 All NBA selections.
All right, good for LeBron.
So you have Duncan and Kareem tied for second. There's one more. Can you guess who that one more is?
Magic? No, it can't be. Didn't play long enough.
It's not Magic.
Shaq?
It's not Shaq.
It's Kobe? No.
It is Kobe.
Is it?
It is. Kobe, Kareem, and Tim Duncan are tied for second with 15. They have 15 All NBA selections.
And LeBron has 18.
And LeBron has 18.
Man, he's gonna put every record like so far out there that like nobody's ever gonna touch it. Like he's gonna break the scoring record next year at some point. God forbid he gets hurt or something, but like he's gonna break the score.
Well, if he keeps this current pace, right, like playing at 50 to 56 games a year,
scoring 30 points a night.
Let's like 27 to 30. Yeah, he should be able to break it next season.
Yeah. And he's gonna if he plays 2 more seasons after that, because that's what he wants to do. He wants to play 2 more.
He wants to play with his son, so he can play with his son.
So yeah, so he's gonna put that He's gonna put that scoring record somewhere where in the stratosphere. Like somebody's got to play literally their entire lives in order to get that record. It's never unless Steph Curry. I don't even think Steph Curry has a chance because he missed too much time when he was younger.
Well, you look at stuff like shooting records, like Curry is gonna blow that out the water, but you look at dudes who are still playing, who are coming up on it, for all his mishaps, James Harden is third.
Yeah, all time. I know.
Third, and Damian Lillard's on that list. Dame ain't had a full 82 in 2 years. Dame top 10.
Damian Lillard's in I think he's 7 all time at 3-point made or something like that. So, and
before we get up out of here, they also announced the All NBA defensive teams. We're just gonna run through that real quick.
Okay.
So All NBA defensive first team: Giannis, Mikal Bridges, Rudy Gobert, Jaren Jackson, Marcus Smart.
Love it.
Second team.
Love it.
Bam, Draymond, Drew Holiday, Matisse Thybulle, Robert Williams.
No, zero issues with any of that. They got the right guys.
And this is the third All-NBA defensive team selection for Bam, fourth for Drew, second for Thybulle. Williams, Bridges, and Jackson are first-time members. Draymond earned his 7th. Yeah,
he's just padding up that Hall of Fame resume. That's for damn sure.
And of course, you already know Marcus Smart. Defense player of the year. He had 119 steals.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
That is insane to me. I think he had more steals. He had the most steals. Jaren Jackson led the league in blocks.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a change in guard when it comes to all of those awards. We got people that won the award that never won it before. It's been pretty exciting. And in case you were wondering, what's going on with the Miami Heat Boston Celtics game, Boston has a 17-point lead with 9 minutes left in the fourth.
They just blew it open.
Yeah, 77-60.
They went on a 10-0 run to end the third, and they smelled blood in the water. Trying to get it up. They trying to get them up out of there. I think no matter who wins this series, I just think they're just going to be too beat to hell to even compete with the Warriors to win the chip.
I probably agree with you on that. This series has been extremely physical, and what's going to take to beat the Warriors, I think it's going to be tough. I think Dallas is going to come back and win the series, which is you heard it here first. They're gonna do the impossible. They're gonna make history. But Boston's up 77-60. They blew it open with a 32-16 third quarter. They're up 8-2 in the fourth.
Speaking of that, so do you have to lose? Do you have to lose a 7? If you're up 3-0 or 3-1 like the Warriors are, and it goes to Game 7. If you win the Game 7, do you still get to tease them for saying you blew a 3-0 or 3-1 lead?
No.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Stop it. No, you don't. No, you don't. You didn't blow the lead. You still secured the victory. It doesn't matter if it takes you 4 tries to do it.
Yes, it does. You're up 3-0. You're up 3-1.
No.
If you let a team come back and tie you 3-all, you blew You blew that lead.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yes, you did.
Didn't.
Yes, you did.
It's only if you get eliminated that you blow that lead. On that note, Hoppin' David Hoppin, check it. No, you didn't. You didn't blow the lead unless you actually get eliminated. No, you didn't. No. Hoppin' David Hoppin right there. It's TJ Hopkins.
Take it to the group chat. Take it to the group chat.
I will. You're going to be wrong. Share, and subscribe us here at Prime Sports World. We very much appreciate you guys continue to check us out. DJ, what do we do here at the Prime, my friend?
I'm tired of this. Done. I'm out of here.
And you do not blow the lead. You have to actually get eliminated to blow that lead.
You don't.
Yes, you do. I will see you tomorrow, man. Take it easy.
Done with it.